So, Donald Trump signed an order for segregation federally. It's not in the states yet, but it's a start. Anyway, I tend to agree with segregation, separation, elimination, and renovation. All that stuff sounds good. I mean, being segregated sounds good. Being separated sounds good, especially after the last election. After this last election, I mean, hell, where's the unity? I don't think none of us came out of that feeling any kind of unity. Well, I mean, maybe, some, but there was no unity, not especially, well, put it like this. There was no unity shown towards black people at all. Not from whites, not from Hispanics, not from Arabs, and not as bad from Asians. Asians were like, they were only about 40%. They voted with common a little bit over 60, almost 70%, I believe. Not sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what I saw. The thing about it is that although segregation sounds like no problem, we could do this, I do have some reservations. I mean, I was born in 1957, so I grew up in the 60s and 70s. I remember how happy it was around my house when the voting rights bill was signed. I believe that was signed on September 5th of 1965. I'm not sure. On September 5th, I believe it was on a Friday, because I double checked that. I knew it was on a Friday. Anyway, but by that Thursday, I lived in LA. By that Thursday night, I was a kid, and I remember going in the kitchen because it was a commotion, and I went in there, and my Uncle Dino, they had him laid across on top of the washer and dryer. I mean, wherever he was, they didn't ask him how many lumps he wanted. They just gave them to him. He was beat up bad. And the thing is, I remember, I'm dark, but my family are Creole. There's only a few of us that grew up, that were born dark like me. I even remember the common joke in my family was that when I was born, I was delivered by my great aunt at home because my mother was at Van Ness Park on Halloween night, and she came home and went into labor around 1 or 2 in the morning. Anyway, I was born at home, and my aunt delivered me. And the joke that we had, well, not the joke, it was a joke. We kind of laughed about it, even she did through the years, is that she apologized to my mother when I was born. She said, "Bobby, I'm so sorry. He's so black and so ugly." But this is 1957, and you gotta. This is why I really understand racism, even from white people, from Latin people, from other people. I understand racism. I mean, because and black people, we understand it better than they think we do, because we grew up in these families where we saw it. I mean, hell, even Latin people, they try and act like they're all one, but we know that's not true. We found that out during the election. You hear, the thing is, they have a problem with dark-skinned Latin people. Go figure. I mean, I'm pretty sure that comes from their Spanish roots from when they were invaded and colonized by Spain. So I'm pretty sure that's the hangover. That's the problem. That's the European thing. To be racist against all other ethnic groups because they're not white. Which is crazy as hell, but that's what we've been living under for, oh my God, for centuries. Because they had the power. They were in power. They were in charge of stuff. And they had that. But, that's changed today. Sure, America we are the number one military power in the world. I know that. I'm a veteran. I know that. But China and Russia are not far behind. I mean, if you think they are, well, look what happened with Chat GPT and AI and all these people. Look what happened with them when DeepSeek dropped for a whole lot less money and a better product. Now, I'm sure the Chinese sit there and watch these guys on TV, all, trying, bilking people for billions of dollars for their project, and they dropped it just to break that up. Because that's theft. These guys are corrupt. I mean, we got problem with millionaires, rich people, period. I worked for 3 of them. I was a personal aide to 2. And the only thing that millionaires, billionaires, and people who make money care about, their biggest thing every day when they wake up is making more money. They're at the height of capitalization. Their thing is money. Just like we might wake up in the morning and think about our job and what we're going to do in the job, when they get up in the morning, they think about going to get them dollars. That's all it is. They go to sleep with that and they wake up with. That's their business. Their business is to make money. That's why they're billionaires. That's why they're millionaires. I mean, we get people that get their other ways through sports, entertainment, and other things, but the bottom line is people who make their billions, in reality, that wasn't something handed down from their parents. The people that actually make their money, the ones that actually make their money, they think making money from the time they wake up. That's their business. Now, but I mean, say we look at they don't do the things that we see our president doing. There's no other billionaire you see in America selling tennis shoes, Bibles, steaks, meme coins. It's just, this is something that what he's doing is what people with money do, but not as the president of the United States. The thing is, small minds can never grow. To become president of the United States, you've achieved the pinnacle of jobs in the world. That is a top job in the world. So for this man to get up here and decide that he's going to fire federal workers and take away people's Social Security, take away people's Medicare. Come on, let's ask yourself. This is I'm talking to black people, but white people need to hear this too. Ask yourself, why is this billionaire trying to take away my $1,400 a month? Why does this billionaire not want me to pay $35 for insulin? Want me to pay the whole $180 or whatever it is? Why does this billionaire attack Canada and China with their tariffs, but not just the tariffs? Because tariffs are one thing. But when you talk about annexing countries, why would he say he wants to make Canada the 51st state? What in somebody's mind would think that to lead into negotiation is to belittle and bully people? It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. It's almost like he knows by doing that takes away that whole thing. This is all like a farce. It's a farce. People, because, and let's go back to this, and I'll get back to the segregation part. People did not want to see a black woman in the presidency. They did not want to see that. That's men men especially, of all races, I will not be led by a black woman. It's not about being led by a black person. And the same thing in all of politics, it's never about the person. The minute you start thinking about who that person is, you're tripping. Because I'm going to tell you, I worked in politics. I've built platforms. I've built advertisements, helped design billboards for politicians, whether they were Democrat, Republican, Independent, or Libertarian. I haven't worked in it since 2014, and it's changed a lot since. But prior to 2014, and nobody like, maybe it was just the true feelings weren't there. But the thing is, politicians are running for an office. They're running for a job. And what I found helping people get elected, publishing their election materials, putting on events for them, what I've found is when the day of the election, after the election is over, you never hear from them again. Win or lose. Win or lose. You never hear from them again till the next election. Because it's business. These people running around here talking about, oh, I support Trump and I love Trump and Trump don't give a damn about you. He don't even know you. What the hell is wrong with you? Do you think Trump has a preference for white people over black people? No. It's rich people over poor people. Let me say it again. With Trump, it's rich people and it's poor people. And you poor people don't matter worth a damn because you have nothing to give him but a vote. So he'll talk to you then. But right now, look what's happening to all you guys now. I have never seen this many white folks crying about an election ever. Ever. And what they're crying for is the damage that it did to them. But the problem is, the reason they're crying, see, this is where God don't like ugly. And there's a bigger picture to that for the whole country. But God don't like ugly. And now a lot of people don't believe in God or spirits or whatever, and I'm not asking you to. I mean, I'm not a Christian. I'm a non-denominational spiritualist. I believe in God, not the God that they teach you in these churches. I mean, not saying they're giving you inaccurate information, not saying they're teaching you wrong, but this is a colonial teaching of God in America. The same was a colonial teaching of God in Africa. That they designed the Bibles. They took actual scripture, but designed the Bibles so they could control the masses. That's what it's about. The King James Revised Edition of the Bible was to add more control over the people. Anyway, so this is the thing. God is everywhere. When you wake up in the morning, you wake up to God. You wake up to fresh air, sunshine. You see things. Everything you see, I mean, your eyes are AI. Everything you see is, bam, shot to your brain. That's where the real intelligence is. The artificial part is what they extract from your brain to put into the computer. That's why some AI, even ChatGPT, even DeepSeek, have racial overtones in them because they're put together by non-black people. Now, DeepSeek may be a little bit easier on their people, but as far as like ChatGPT, all those racial overtones are in there. And you don't have to believe me. Ask ChatGPT. Ask DeepSeek. Ask them. You could type that in and ask the question. It'll give you the rundown. That's how come I know what I'm saying is not wrong, because this is what AI revealed to me. So this is where this is also, and now this brings us all the way back to the segregation part. I mean, why is it that, just think about it. Let's go back to the not even beginning of slavery, but let's go back 300 years. How is it that people can be alive and live through that whole period? I'm talking about our great-grandparents, our grandparents, and everything that happened all through life, and then they look around and see the world. When they see somebody of color, whether it's black or Indian or Latin or another Arab person or Asian person, why is it that white people are offended by that? Why are they offended by that? I mean, this is that man put in that work to be where they are. Now, if your lazy ass didn't do it, you don't deserve it. You see, I got on my P-Funk t-shirt. You know what George Clinton says? To each his reach, and if I don't copy, it ain't mine to have. And it's not. If you don't go out and earn your shit, it's not yours to have. Regardless whether it's a black man, a white man, Asian man, a woman, or a child. If they accomplish shit that you didn't put the work in to get, that's not your shit. So why are you jealous? Why is your heart hurt instead of you go out and put in your work for yourself? This is the problem. See, this is the bigger problem in America. This is the bigger problem. Because of slavery, we had a whole group of white folks that didn't know how to work. Didn't know how to work. Look at Nebraska. They're going bankrupt. Instead of them getting out there and the white folks there getting out and going into farms and do it themselves, they're sitting back crying about, we're going bankrupt. How can you help us? Well, hell, you voted for your workers to leave. God don't like ugly. You voted for that, and there you go. It's the same thing. If I go out and commit a crime and they arrest me, I go to jail, how am I going to complain about that? God don't like ugly. You do ugly, expect ugly shit to happen. That's just the way it is. You know, like, I mean, the thing is, we travel in this world with spirits all around us and energy all around us. Everything in this world has energy and has spirit to it. Everything. I'm talking about from your kids to their teachers, to the bus, to the buildings, to the planes, to all the other people. They all have energy. They all have that certain spirit of energy that we all have, that all of us take in a different way. It's not, nobody else is responsible for your situation. How in the hell am I going to make a white man poor in Wyoming when black people are not even allowed there? Ain't no black people going to live in no damn Wyoming. Why do they even care about segregation? Black people not breaking their neck to go to North Dakota and South Dakota and Idaho. Why do they care about segregation? You know, we're not breaking our neck to go to Nebraska. I mean, there are black people there, like around Omaha in certain areas, but nobody's breaking their neck to go there. We're stuck in the South down in Georgia and Alabama and Louisiana and Texas. But because there was a great migration, but a lot of people stayed. They stayed there to work. And just think about it. The white folks there are glad for you to stay and work and help them make their way. But they don't want you there. It's crazy. White folks kill themselves going to Africa, going to visit Africa and talk and everything. But they don't want no black people in America or in Europe. They don't want you coming to their country. It's crazy as hell. But this is the thing. When you don't know who you are, when you don't know who you are, you'll follow any path to find it, find yourself. And that's not how it rolls. But getting back to the segregation part, as I said, I think I said to begin with, I think it sounds good, but it's not good. Because it's not part of God's plan for his people. Nowhere in the Bible or any scriptures in the Quran or any other scriptures do you see where God says, I hate these people, don't let them be Christians, or go out and no, it does say that in the Bible. I'm sorry. It does say where they go out and conquer lands and take over people's stuff. But that's not scripture. That's part of the original text that was put together by the Romans back in the day, because that's what they did. I mean, that's what was done during the times of Rome. That what was done even afterward, and I mean, and on through time, because that set the precedent for what we was going to do. That they were the first ones to start killing and doing stuff. The popes of the 14th and 15th and 16th centuries, they weren't religious men. They were power grabbers. Come on. Everybody knows the history of Rome. We know about what Caesar did. We know about Caligula and other people. So why do you think what they were doing is good for you? For you to stick to that, not let it go, and not grow. But see, there never was segregation before Rome. There wasn't segregation amongst people. There were all manners of races and people, and even in Alexander's armies and the Grecian armies. I mean, look at the Greeks weren't full-blown racists. Socrates and Aristotle studied in Kemet. That's what they studied in Egypt and in Kemet. That wasn't going on before. It was going on then, but it was like, how can these people, they revere Socrates and Aristotle, but not the people they gained their knowledge from? It's because they stole everything we had. This continual unable to let go of their racial hatred for black people is for fear of being exposed, for fear of being shown to be phonies. It's for fear of losing power. It's for fear of retribution. But that's not what black people do. You know, I mean, look at it. I mean, we're here in this country. You have plenty of people that come here, like different immigrants. I mean, they're briefed when coming through immigration. Don't mess with black people. These are the most dangerous people in America. Other Africans are briefed on that. Other races. I mean, that briefing's been going on for hundreds of years. That's why everybody acts the way they do when they approach black Americans. That's what everybody does, because they're taught that by the American government. They're taught that if you can lose your immigration status, if you're caught with these people or anything is going on there, anybody's arrested, you will lose your status. That's why they don't mess with us. You get Africans come here, they don't mess with people in the black community. When they first get here, their first year or two, they're scared to death, because they come here to work to make money for their families, but they've already been threatened. The law's been set down before they even walk the streets of America. Same thing with the people down in the Latin people and Mexican people. I mean, they're racist against black people, and they don't like black people. Not all of them. And the thing is, when I say black or white, this is not all of everybody, because everybody is not all people are not evil. All people don't carry evil and hatred in their heart. If you're racist and you hate a group of people, you're just as sick as they are. See, I love everybody. I don't like everybody. I don't like what they do, but I love everybody. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. I don't want to see harm come to anybody. Unless I'm defending myself, then I'm going to do whatever I got to do if I have to defend myself. But as far as to be aggressive towards people, to devalue who they are as people and what they did in their life and what they mean to their families, that's sick. That's sick. And we have a lot of sick people in this world. But we have a lot of great people in this world that need to stand up. That's the thing about good people. We never want trouble. So we don't get involved in a lot of stuff. We don't want trouble. We don't want to argue against racism or segregation or DEI or woke or all these other stupid terms these people just create to be able to do the dirt they want to do. That's all it's about. And the thing is, I mean, it's really sad that for me, I'm more hurt or not really hurt, disenchanted when I see poor white people following behind rich white people and believing that they actually are going to do something for them. It's never happened in history. Remember, there was kings, knights, queens, and there were serfs and peasants. Serfs and peasants didn't get nothing. They had to scrap for everything. And you got to remember, monarchies didn't end till World War I. So there's been a readjustment period from that point on. Because prior to World War I, there were monarchies all over the world. I mean, and we hear like the sad part about that is that America decided they wanted to be represented by a monarchy. The poor white people in America are falling for what the rich white people in America are telling you. And all they want to do is make you the new nigga. They just want to put you back in your place. You talking about segregation? You're going back in your place. You're going back where you're supposed to be. Not with them. You're going back with them other people. As they create different AI technology and start doing jobs that you did, and they're getting it for one cost, they don't need you no more. This is what white America, poor white America, and I say poor, if you make under $300,000 a year, you're considered poor America. The new middle class in America are millionaires. That's where the middle class is. The rest of us are poor. It's not official, but all you gotta do is look around and see. If you're worth about $100,000, won't even cover a family of four. Now, there are people that live off a whole lot, that live off of a quarter of that. But I'm talking about just to live a decent life in America, you need a family income of at least $200,000 damn near to live a comfortable life in America. You can't even buy a house if you don't have that. So who's being segregated? Who's gonna bear all the brunt of this segregation? Just think about it. Who's gonna bear all the brunt? The segregation is not just for black people. It's gonna be for the Hispanics, for the Asians, for the women. Because these people believe that the white man is the gift to the world. How'd that work out for us in 2008 during the last financial crisis? How's that working out for us now? Damn, where are the DEIs at? DEIs could have helped stop this shit. They could have helped stop it. One voice is one outcome. So we want to say, they want to talk about, oh, DEI, this, and we say, oh, they're, in their minds, they're saying it. The slur is directed toward black people. They consider us DEI. But they get the rest of you guys to fall in line with it because you don't know that you're part of that DEI too, especially the women. And I'm just here to say, like, white women in America, I mean, you guys are more entrapped than black people are. You're more submissive than black people will ever be. You really are. And it's really sad because as much you sit here and listen to this man talk about you like dirt, and you still walked in and said, he wasn't talking about me. Yes, he was. He said women. He didn't say Martha and May and Ruth. He said women, all of you. This man he's a serial friggin', what you call it? What's the word? I don't want to say the R word, but he's a serial one. Nobody else you never heard grab him by the pussy before him. You never heard that before that. Man, is segregation gonna stop that? That's the whole thing. This is the one thing that rich people know works 100%. 100% because it's worked for centuries. Divide and conquer. That's the whole thing. This whole thing brings up to segregation, the whole thing about DEI, the whole thing about Latin Hispanics, about Asians, about black people, the whole thing about vermin and scum and the blood of our country. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Let's hold on. The blood of whose country? Elon Musk is an immigrant who was an illegal immigrant to just a couple years ago. Donald Trump is an immigrant. His grandfather came here. Friedrich Trump came here in 1895 because the law was looking for him in Germany. In 1905, when he tried to return, they said you can return, but you're going to prison. So he stayed here. Opened up a brothel in Colorado and ran liquor back and forth in between. That you could go and find, and that's me saying it, but Google Friedrich Trump or go to Wikipedia, look at Friedrich Trump, just for starts, and you could go from there. And it's not Trump, T-R-U-M-P, is T-R-U-M-P-F initially. Trump didn't get here, his family didn't arrive here till 1895, right around 1900. He's not a foundational white American. His family didn't fight in the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, War 1812. The American Indian War, or the Mexican War, or World War. They were here around that time. They didn't fight because no Trump has ever been in the military. As a matter of fact, when Donald Trump Jr. wanted to join the Air Force, Donald Trump Sr. told me, if you do that, I'll cut you off. Yes, that's what happened there. So there's never been from him a loyalty to this country. And you know there's no loyalty to this country from Elon Musk. These guys are trying to become globalists. Elon Musk is a lot further along than Trump is, but they want to be globalists. That's where the big money is. You make money from everywhere around the world. And they'll sell out each and every one of us. But if they get the simple-minded, the nonchalant, the white loyalists, the Asian defectors, the Latin defectors, the black defectors, to believe the shit they selling them, which obviously we saw the last election they did. They got you to believe what they sold you was going to be a reality. How did that work out?